Look here, baby. You're hitting them corners fast. You need to slow this down. You understand? I almost spilled my yak on this $200 suit.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button and also hit that notification so every single time I post, you'll be notified, which is when I can get around to it. That statement has never been more true than this video right here, because I think it's probably been, by the time I post this, it might have been, I think at least like 2 weeks since I last posted.
That's embarrassing.
That really is embarrassing. Like, how can I sit up here and be like, I have a YouTube channel, yeah, I'm taking my social media seriously, and then I just go ghost for like 2 weeks and like don't tell anybody. But I'm back. I feel good, and I am ready to sit down and talk to you guys. But if you are on here and you do notice that I'm gone for a little bit and you're like,
oh my god, where did she go? Where did she go?
Baby, follow me on other social media platforms. If you ever miss me on here, don't worry. I can bother you in another platform. All my socials are linked in the description box down below. There is a like little section right there that says I'm everywhere, and it's a Canva link, a Canva hosted page that I'm making. It has all my little social medias on there. So go ahead and follow me. And that segues perfectly into what we're talking about today. On TikTok, I was doing, I don't even call it a mini series, but I did 2 videos where after Euphoria, I would just go through the episode and just kind of talk about it and just kind of very casually give my views and my opinions. Bitch, I don't care about anything else. I do not care about a single fucking thing else on this fucking planet other than sexy, bitch. Control what you eat and wear. And this past Sunday was the Euphoria finale, and I was gonna do it on TikTok, but I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be too long. TikTok lets you make 3-minute videos, but I needed more than 3 minutes to talk about what this finale was. And so that's what I want to do here today. I want to talk about the finale. I want to talk about the reception of it. I want to talk about, I just want to get into it with y'all. You know, it's a real casual vibe here. If you've never been here before, some days I come in here fully beat mug, ready to kiki. But other times it's just very simple, very laid back. I mean, I got on a great hoodie. We're very chill over here. We're very relaxed. I'm really trying to get y'all to subscribe to this channel, so go ahead and do that. But we're very relaxed. If you want to sit back, grab a snack, if you want to put this on in the background like a little podcast, that's cool. But come hang out with me and let's talk about Euphoria. If I had to describe the plot in a succinct way, in a way in which I act as if brevity is one of my strong suits, I'll try. Euphoria is about what I learned in boating school is. So at its core, Euphoria is a show about a main character, Rue, who is dealing with drug addiction while she's going through high school. And the show portrays drug addiction in, I think, one of the most realistic and almost surreal ways. You know, I've watched shows that, you know, kind of talk about drug addiction. I've watched The Wire, currently watching Snowfall, currently watching Ozark with my family. All those shows talk about drug addiction, and they do show like the more kind of like negative sides of it, but those 2 shows kind of talk about like the street politics of drugs and how you're supposed to kind of level up with your, it's very convoluted, and we're talking about one show, so I gotta stay on track here. And then Ozark is kind of more of the money laundering side of drugs. So, you know, all the shows talk about drugs, and they do show drug addiction in some way, but they don't quite do it in a way that Euphoria does, where they show like these gritty moments, and they show just these very like, I can't describe it, but it's just like they do not glorify it at all. They show you the nitty gritty. They don't shy away from it. They don't make it seem poetic or aesthetic or anything. It's, you know what it is. So that's Euphoria. I hope that helped. It probably did. As far as the ratings, Euphoria has been received really well. I mean, the whole reason that I got into it is because I could not escape it on my timeline. Like every time I go on Twitter on Sunday night, unbeknownst to me, that was Euphoria Sundays. And so I get on and I just see people talking about,
Girl, Rue did this.
Cassie, girl, you crazy.
Me too crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, who are these people? Why is everybody talking about them? The show is obviously talked about you know a lot. It's like one of the most watched shows on HBO, like right behind Game of Thrones. Like I said earlier in the video, the finale just happened and there were a lot of mixed reactions. Now, here's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna sit up here and criticize this show because you know what? I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer, I'm not a producer, I'm barely a person, you know? So I can't, what I don't want this to come off as is like, they're doing a terrible job, and I don't want to come off as like one of those film Twitter people, you know, like those people who like, they watch a movie and they're like, I can't even do an impression of them because I can't bring myself to be that obnoxious. But if you know those people who are just like, they never enjoy anything because they just swear they could have done it better, or like
he has such a way with words.
It's so obnoxious. So I don't want this to come off like that. And I will say this, when I first watched the finale, even though I gotta get it together. While there were some parts of the finale that were sad, I left the finale feeling like, okay, here's my thing when it comes to finales of TV shows. I never expect anything. I expect finales to have a bunch of open endings. You know, I expect them to be very broad, and like in my mind, the idea of like a finale, I would think a bunch of open endings. You know, maybe there's one character who has a really bad ending of the season and there's one character who has a really good ending of the season. That's kind of what we got here, you know. There were a lot of open endings. I know when I edit this, I'm gonna put it in the beginning, but they're gonna be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't seen the finale yet, or you haven't watched Euphoria and you're maybe in the middle of it, I would say don't watch this video. Well, no. Don't not watch this video. Make sure you subscribe. Put this video in your watch later. Go ahead and finish Euphoria, then come back to YouTube and then watch this video. I don't want you to not watch this video, but I don't want you to be mad that I'm about to spoil stuff. I feel like we got that, you know? So we have all these open endings, kind of, you know, we have the Cassie, Nate, and Maddie story, and we will talk about this after I've been able to kind of like reassess how I feel about it. But originally I was like, okay, we have some open endings. You know, we have the Jules and Rue and Elliot kind of story open. We still have the Rue and the Lori situation open. We have, you know, the Cassie, Maddie and Nate situation open, possibly McKay. We have the, you know, possibly the Cal and Jules and Nate situation so open. So we have a lot of open endings. Obviously we obviously have we have the character who had the tragic ending. My babies. And then of course we did have Rue kind of have her happy ending. You know, she's clean for the last episode, so we just see like this radiance coming off of her. She's, you know, she rekindles her friendship with Lexi, which is just, that was real cute. And you know, she says that she stayed clean for the rest of the school year. So we did kind of have in my mind what a typical season finale looks like. But at the same time, a lot of people weren't really vibing with it. And at first I was kind of like, what's wrong, y'all? Like, I thought it was cool. But once I talked to a few people, I kind of got some other opinions. I could see why the finale didn't do as well as I guess people hoped, or I can just see why a lot of people were pretty upset about the finale. Also, given the fact that more than likely we're going to be waiting until 2024 for season 3 of Euphoria. So given the fact that a lot of people weren't happy with the finale and there's going to be such a big time gap until we get another episode, I see where people are coming from. I don't know if I necessarily agree with them exactly, but I do see where people are coming from. I found 3 core reasons why people really didn't like the finale of Euphoria. One of them being major plot holes, another one being the pacing, or perhaps the lack thereof, and the third being misuse of characters. One of the major storylines for this season was Rue getting involved with Lori, who is this big-time drug dealer. Rue, in her relapse, she decides that she wants to sell drugs. So, well, and that's the thing. We don't really know her plan, but at least to the viewer, Rue's plan was to get a suitcase of about, I don't know, $10,000 worth of drugs from this lady and sell them, I guess. And we'll talk about her plan in a minute. For the first 5 or so episodes of the season, Rue is fixated on the suitcase. She has this suitcase or whatever. And we're all kind of like, oh my God, what's the plan? And then in season 5...
I meant episode 5, not season 5.
But in that episode, it opens up Leslie, who is Rue's mother, throws out the suitcase. First of all, that episode opens up with one hell of a scene that had me shaking. And something about when I was watching, you know, the first season of Euphoria, whenever Rue and her mother would argue, it would always be kind of like a background into like whatever's going on. Like I remember in the first season, when they go back to school, the theater teacher asked Rue, you know, what was something significant that happened this summer. And Rue was thinking about her drive back from rehab and, you know, good moments that she had with her family, but also arguing. And while I was watching that, I'm like, I would love to like watch a good argument scene. Something about it is just like, dang, like they're really acting right now. Like obviously when people are like crying and like pouring their heart out on screen, that's also like, you know, a good tell of like their acting skills. But something about two characters like really just raw arguing, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is intense. I love it. And I'd always wanted to see what those fights look like for Rue and her mother. That opening scene, that was everything of that episode. But, you know, her mother, she throws out the drugs. And then Rue ends up at Lori's house. And, you know, it's that scene, especially when she's waking up and trying to get out of the house the next day. But that just entire scene was so crazy and it was so scary because Lori is this comedically monotone but like high-pitched kind of person. She is so eerie. And she literally tells Rue, she's like, you know, if you can't get me back the money for the drugs, you have something else you can sell. Like, she's literally telling her to sell her body for these drugs. You know, it's all leading up to this big thing. And then I think we have an episode where she's getting clean. And then the last episode, she's like clean at Lexi's play. And obviously, while the season was building up with that storyline, the season was also building up for Lexi's play. But it's one of those things where it's kind of like, this was a really big part of this season and y'all just kind of left it wide open. Even I did see a few tweets where people were thinking like, you know, Zendaya's leaving the school after the play and like Lori's right outside waiting for her, or like one of Lori's guys is like around the corner, like, you know, stalking Zendaya, because that would have made sense.
No, cuz why do I keep calling her by her real name and not her character name?
And I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling one way, but now once I started thinking about it, once I started kind of drafting out this video, like this outline for this video, I see it the other way. There's a part of me that's like, we gotta play the wait game. You know, there's such things sometimes as a slow burn. Like I said earlier, I watched The Wire before. The Wire, great show, slow burn. Like if you enjoy if you enjoy very slow lead ups for shows, you'd love The Wire if you haven't seen it, because I was sitting there like, bro, I can't watch this. It's taking too long. I'll be honest. I'll be one of those people that will say it was taking a little too long for me to get into it, but once I got into it, I was into it. But with that type of show in mind, I'm thinking like, okay, in order for a show to consistently have a plot line, they can't just solve everything, right? I didn't think that storyline, the Rue and Lori situation, was going to be solved in this season. I figured it would kind of span out a little bit, but it does seem like they almost forgot about it in a way, because it did seem to be this major kind of plot point, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Rue's clean. But again, if I am keeping in mind the idea of like a perfect finale, if Rue is a character that gets to have a happy ending, then of course this kind of traumatic part of her life is going to be overlooked. The same thing if, you know, if the roles were reversed and the happy ending was going to go to Fez and Ashtray, we would completely forget that like that Ashtray kills Mouse in the first season, and then, well, I don't know how it would have been written, but like if they were still going to get the happy ending and Custer was still going to die, if you're going to give someone a happy ending, you kind of have to ignore all the bad things that they have coming their way. And I guess it's, you know, it's interesting when you look at it like that, but for the sake of a show, for the sake of like drama and keeping people on the edge of their seat, that didn't feel like you're on the edge of your seat. It just kind of feels like what happened? Still kind of in that same vein. Now, when I talked about Rue and Lori, when Rue first got the idea to get drugs from Lori, to my memory, we don't hear about the plan. Like, we don't actually know what her plan is. I'm trying to remember.
Ding ding ding, I was right. Rue first tries to tell the plan to Fez.
I came up with an amazing fucking plan.
And what would that be, Rue?
Alright, so all you would have to do is front me like $5,000 worth of drugs, okay? And
Hell the fuck no.
Okay, well, before you say no, you kind of have to let me finish, right?
Hell the fuck no.
Okay, why do you keep saying that?
I did not like the way that the plan started.
And then in the next scene she tells Elliot, but we never get to hear it. We just see his reaction to the plan.
That's a good ass plan.
Thank you. Fucking Fez didn't want to hear it.
Why not?
Ego shit, man.
And I don't think either one of those times did we hear the part of the plan. We get the gist of it, that she wants to buy drugs from Lori because she's like obsessed with the fact that she's like this powerful female drug dealer, but we never hear the specifics of her plan. His character was kind of introduced in a weird way. I think just in general, people were kind of suspicious of his intentions. Well, actually, they had every right to be. Once Elliot starts hanging out with Jules and Rue, he admits to Jules that he is attracted to Rue, but then he starts making out with Jules' like hand as if it was a, you know. And then while Rue is in the bathroom doing drugs, Elliot and Jules are making out on the bed, but then when she comes out, they act like they weren't. And I actually can see why y'all don't like it. But I say all that to say, he knew that Rue was doing drugs and he knew Rue's plan. But in that episode 6 that opens up with Rue and her mom arguing, and I'm telling y'all, if y'all were watching, if y'all have seen that episode, the absolute gag it was when Rue was like, "Who told you, Mom? Who told you I'm doing drugs?" or something like that. And off screen, and I have my closed captions on, so I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, oh my god, this fight scene is everything. Like they're acting their asses off right now, and all I see is Jules says like, "I told her." That closed caption said Jules : "I told her." Gag of the set.
I quoted the scene all types of wrong, but here it is for your enjoyment.
I'm sorry, but I need you to tell me where they are. I need you to tell me where the pills are, Mom. I need you to tell me where the suitcase is. Tell me where they are, Mom. Fuck! Where did you fucking put them? I know they're fucking in here, Mom. I know they're in here. What did you do with them? What did you do? Where the fuck are they? What did you do with them? We flushed them down the toilet.
You look embarrassed, Rue. You're embarrassed because Jules just heard everything you said. Don't cry. Own that shit. Own what you just said. Fuck you.
But anyway, what a lot of people were kind of like upset with him about is he was doing drugs with Rue. He knew Rue's plan about the suitcase. And now he's at her like random intervention. And everyone's kind of like, you know, did he tell Rue's mother what the drugs were for? Like, he's the only person that knows where she got the suitcase of drugs from. Nobody else knows. So Elliot sat there while Rue's mother threw out these drugs that Elliot knows where they came from. This crazy catatonic lady. I don't know if that's the right word. Sometimes I'll be saying words I think I know what they mean, but I don't know what they mean. I don't know.
I see what the fuck is going on here. Well, first things first. Elliot here's a fucking addict. So if he tells you anything fucking different, he's a liar and a fucking snake. Fuck you.
People are kind of split up about him. They don't really know how to feel about him because he does know the secret, but I feel like the last episode kind of played it off and like he's supposed to be this kind of good person all along, but his character itself is a plot hole because he knows too much to just kind of be like, do you think we can ever be friends again? Like, Elliot, you're up to something. We want to know what's going on. And he confirmed on Jimmy Fallon that he will be on the next season. So I don't know, but I feel like his character and what his intentions are as a character are kind of up in the air. And if that's, again, if we're going back to this idea of what a perfect finale is, season finale at that, if that's going to be one of the open endings, then that's one of the open endings. But I kind of feel like it hasn't been solidified enough for it to be open, for us to be excited about, or for people to be excited about. I'm kind of cool with it, but you know. Another plot hole people have a problem with is Kat. Kat's character takes a noticeable backseat in this season, and it's painful because her character's season 1 storyline was something that was, I won't say relatable to that extent because I'm not a cam girl, but her storyline, you know, what is interesting about Euphoria is that a lot of people are like, you know, is it relatable? Were people's high school experiences like this? And like, not mine personally. Like, can definitely tell you. I think you can identify with a little something in each character to an extent. Like, for example, when Maddie is in the... I had me crying. When it's Maddie's birthday, and they're all sitting in the... And y'all know. When they're all sitting in the jacuzzi.
Thank you. I'm so glad you guys are back together. We're not back together.
You're not?
No.
I mean, I was gonna say no, but why are you saying no?
Because we're not.
I know, but why do you sound so definitive about it?
I wasn't being definitive.
It sounded like it.
No, I mean, she just asked a question.
That
so
you didn't
I was
have to answer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you did.
I don't understand what we're arguing about.
You and your tone.
Relatable. That's relatable content. But when we talk about a character as a whole who is just so... You don't see characters like that on TV. Someone who is so real and just so tangible as a person. Kat's character in the first season, impeccable. Like, the way her character progresses in the first season is so beautiful. And just the way that we see her character take a complete backseat in the second season is just, it's disheartening. And it's almost one of those things, I don't want to be that person, but it's almost like if enough people say it, there has to be a part of it that's true. It has been heavily rumored that Barbie Ferreira, I don't know how to say her last name. I actually feel so rude not knowing her last name. The actress who plays Kat, Barbie, last name here, and Sam Levinson, who is the, you know, writer, you know, executive, whatever of the show, that they had an argument, and that to get revenge, she ended up like scrapping all of her scenes and all of her character development in the second season. And I feel like for the entirety of the second season is, you know, her being like, oh, I'm not happy with Ethan, so we're thinking we're gonna get that storyline for the entire season. But then out of nowhere, it's just like she becomes this kind of like moral conscience, or like a soundboard for Maddie's thoughts and what she's going through with Cassie. You know, she's just kind of there to be like, you know, oh, I totally agree, Cassie sucks, or you should be mad. Like, that's all. And then like when every time Maddie wants to confront Cassie, then Kat's character is reduced to like the peacemaker and, you know, someone who's supposed to hold back Maddie the whole time. And to even make matters worse, as if her character wasn't already being pushed back enough, when she decides to break things off with Ethan, it's literally like in a diner and she just gaslights him for like 5 minutes straight. I have a mental disorder. And he's just, I love Ethan. I'm very and if you didn't love Ethan before, after Lexi's play, y'all already be Ethan Sands because he ate that up. He ate it up. But anyway, I love Ethan.
Since I have a knack for describing scenes terribly, here it is.
I have a brain disorder.
What?
It's the rest of the sentence.
I'm confused.
I think it's terminal.
You've been thinking a lot about our relationship because you have a terminal brain disorder?
Yeah, I just like keep thinking like the hospital visits, and maybe I'll have to get out of school, stay home, you know, the little time I have left.
What is this terminal brain disorder called?
No, because you're gonna Google it and then read about it, and I'm just gonna see it on your face.
I feel like you're lying to me.
Lying about a terminal brain disorder? That's sick. And to be honest, the fact that you think I would even lie about something that awful means there's a big problem in this relationship, which is like literally what I was trying to say in the beginning.
No. In the beginning, I feel like you started to break up with me, and then you pivoted to telling me that you got like a terminal brain illness, and now I feel like you're using my skepticism as like a reason to break up with me.
That's your experience?
No, I think that's the experience.
Like, it's ridiculous, and I'm like, this is so unlike her character. Like, it just sucks. But, you know, again, allegedly, if it's a rumor has it. If it is a rumor and it's not true, I think there was an interview where she had said something like, you know, a lot of what's happening with Kat's character is like internal, and you know, she has to decide what's going on within herself. I'm just really hoping that we get to see more of Kat's character flourish and grow and just step into herself some more. looking at my notes right now and I realized that I talked about this point way more in the plot hole than I did for this one. But one of my major points for the pacing was the Rue versus Lori storyline, which I've already talked about, so I'm not going to re-talk about it here, but that was my major points. Another one is the Cal versus Nate versus Jules, or as the love of my life would say it, Jewel.
Yo, Happy New Year, Jewel.
It's Jules.
Yeah, come on. I know your name, Jewel.
With this kind of situation right here between Cal and Nate and Jules, what I think is my issue with this, as far as pacing goes, is I found that storyline so intriguing because, you know, if you all remember, the storyline kind of starts off with Jules and Nate talking on this app, and you know, they don't really know they're talking to each other. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of confused. Sometimes I feel a little slow for these TV shows. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm afraid to ask. We think this whole time from the viewer's perspective that Nate is like, you know, actually liking Jules and like getting to know her and everything. But in reality, Nate is blackmailing her and being like, I have this DVD and you have to do what I say. And Nate's character itself, he is, well, one, he's a sociopath. And what I'm not gonna do is sit up here and try to glorify anything about him. That boy is crazy, and I really believe that. No, Nate is crazy, but his character has so many layers and whatnot, you know, because while he is this awful person who, you know, puts the women in his life through hell, who is violent and just angry and all of these negative things, something that dawned on me this last episode, because I'm telling y'all, Nate scares me. Like, when he's on screen, I'm genuinely scared. In the last episode, I saw this tweet that had me ugly laughing in my bed last night.
Imagine chilling with Trade and his son comes in interrupting your kiki time with trauma dumping.
Nate comes in and he's like,
So you living here now?
For the moment, yeah.
You happy?
I'm figuring it out. Why don't we go talk about this upstairs?
It's a simple question.
Yes. In some ways.
That's not fair.
I know.
You don't get to ruin our lives and just move on and get to be happier. I spent my whole life trying to protect you. And instead of loving me, you fucking hated me for it.
I'm like, now I see it. And it took this long for me to see it, but now I finally did see it. I'm like, what? And again, I'll say it, well, I was living for Cal Jacobs literally having his long schlong out, peeing on the foyer of the Jacobs home.
Okay, look, could you please put your penis away?
No.
Cal, I'm not gonna ask you again. Put your penis away.
I am who I am.
Literally just telling all his family how awful they are. I live for that. At the same time, it's like, you aren't not the root of all this. In whether it's something direct, you know, like your own son finding your entire, you know, homemade video collection, or indirectly, because the other son like has like a weird taste in porn, you know. It is very valid that, you know, he doesn't get to go off and be happy and everything, and that Nate's character, in the most cruel and sadistic ways, no matter how else he hurt somebody else, he was trying to protect his father's secret and his father's legacy. And in the end, we just see Nate get his father arrested. Now, the actor who plays Cal, Eric, that's his name, right? he's so fine. I gotta look. God, man, good look. He is handsome as fuck. Okay. Y'all hot? It's hot in here. I read somewhere that he's teasing like a character redemption arc for Cal, so he's gonna be in the next season. But this storyline ends with Jewel getting back the tape. I keep calling her Jewel. With Jules getting back the CD of them having sex, right? So she gets it back, she destroys it. And that's it. I mean, like, she gets the tape back, she destroys it. To my understanding, Jules wants nothing to do with Nate. So that kind of whole rift is gone. Cal got arrested, so now there's no more of that. Like, it just, that leaves an open ending in kind of like the worst way, because we have nothing to go on for the next season. So it kind of feels like if you reopen that, it's going to be kind of like, well, aren't we just like, you know, at this point you're kind of like beating a horse to death at this point. Like, no, Peter, I'm sorry, no, you're beating a dead, is it beating a dead horse to death? What is it? I don't know, but it just feels like it feels like you close that chapter. So then if you go back and open it, or if you go on to open it in the next season, it's kind of like, well, what's going on here? And I thought that was a really good dynamic, because it involves these three characters that I think otherwise would not have been involved with each other. So it's weird how you have the pacing of this storyline. In my opinion, yes, it did span over 2 seasons, but it ended kind of abruptly, versus this other thing that is only built for like 4 or 5 episodes and then stopped, you know. So I don't know. The pacing is a little weird, and I don't know. I'm caught between wanting to play the long game, but also being like, girl, well, how long is this game gonna last, you know? The last one, misuse of characters. Okay, so first one, Jules. Jewel, as I'm gonna keep calling her. She gets second billing. She's a very important character. She's introduced in the first season as the love of Rue's life. You know, she's a very important character. She, you know, obviously, she's one of the main parts of Rue's story. Like I said before, she has this other big story with 2 other characters. And she also like kind of seamlessly integrates her way into the other characters' lives, you know. I forget what episode it is, but Ethan and Kat go on a bowling date, and Jules is hanging out there with Maddie. And, you know, she's like emotional support for Maddie, because Maddie's like, you know, oh, I don't think I'm strong enough to not get back with Nate. Like, I know he's terrible and all this stuff. And, you know, Jules says something that's like really sweet. She's like, I wish you see yourself the way everyone else sees you. So Jules is a very important character. And even myself, I'm not gonna lie, and I think some people still do feel this way. I'm not gonna lie. Here's my thing about Jules that made me not like her, because I was rocking with Jules for a little bit. So she leaves. She goes to New York to party, whatever. She cheats on Rue. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. She cheats on Rue. Then she comes back and she's like, oh, everything's fine. But then she's like all mad at Rue for being friends with Elliot. It was just so weird to me. Like, she was like very upset about it. She's like, I don't like this Elliot guy. Meanwhile, you are busting it wide open and telling homegirl bring it back in that club in New York, Jewel. Like, let's act right. But also, can we sit back and can we talk about that arguing scene again? Because not only was Rue arguing with her mother and her sister, she was giving it to Jules. Oh my, that was rough.
This doesn't fucking concern you, Jules.
Yes, it does.
Fuck, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
How?
Because I don't want you to kill yourself.
You're a fucking rat.
You were lying to me.
Yeah, so you gonna tell my fucking mom?
I didn't know what else to do.
Why the fuck would you say anything? You are fucking dead to me.
You don't mean that.
I fucking mean every fucking word. You're dead to me, Jules.
I don't believe you.
You and me, we're fucking done. There's nothing fucking there anymore. Nothing fucking there. You know, I have a lot of regrets in my life. But I gotta tell you, Jules, meeting you has got to be at the top of my fucking list. Oh, now you wanna fucking cry. Now you wanna fucking cry? Yeah, you're a fucking vampire. You just go around fucking sucking the fucking spirit out of everyone. You like that shit. Makes you feel good.
You know that's not true.
It is fucking true. It's all about fucking Jules, right? And you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You just act all fucking innocent. Like you're just fucking sweet little angel. This innocent, sweet little fucking angel who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. You know what the fuck you're doing.
I love you.
No, the fuck you don't. You love being loved.
That was painful. I forgot why I even brought that up. Ooh, I forgot why I brought that up, but I just had to talk about that. But anyway, Jules is a very important character. Jules, oh my God. Jules is a very important character. Oh, right, and even though we see Rue kind of break things off, I guess maybe in a sense, if she is only to be considered as an extension of Rue's character, you know, we see her break things off, or we see Rue cut Jules off, but then for the rest of the season, we don't really see or hear much from her until we get to the play, Lexi's play, which is the last 2 episodes of the season, and Jules is there, and she's, you know, watching the play, but she's also looking over at Rue to see her, you know, they're having moments of eye contact. Her only lines are going up to Rue in the end and being like, hey, I love you. And I'm just kind of like, if it's supposed to symbolize that in order for Rue to fully get better, she has to let go of Jules. I think, you know, despite how much love Jules has for her and vice versa, if Rue walking away from Jules in that last moment was supposed to symbolize that she needs to get better without her, that's fine. But I just feel like for this monumental character that Jules is, something about her just having like that little bit of a line just didn't make any sense to me. But then also, I guess she wouldn't really have had a role in the play, so she wouldn't have been reacting to anything. Episode 7, when Rue is doing like her little like narration, and she's like, Elliot and Jules, well, actually, I don't want to talk about them. Fuck them, which had me cackling. But, you know, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like, maybe, I mean, like, maybe that was, if that's what it's supposed to be, then that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know. I'm gonna come back to that. Maybe when I'm editing, I might have more notes, or I might jump in here with a clip, but I don't know. What she say? What? I can do it. I'm about to act the scene out for you. Rue? wait. Okay, wait, I can do it. I can act. This is my audition tape for Euphoria. Rue? When was this? You gotta say the line. Yeah. I can do it. You dumb. They's not gonna clack though, because they're kind of short. They're not gonna clack the way I wanted to, but I'm gonna still do it though. You dumb fucking bitch. I'm gonna fuck you. I love that scene. Rue, there's so much power when she does this hand movement. Rue?
How long have you been fucking him? Rue? When was this?
Right after New Year's.
You dumb fucking bitch! I'm gonna fuck you! Fucking run away from me, you stupid bitch!
You guys, come on! What are you? Bitch, give her best supporting actress right now. She's that scene is Rue. I want to talk about McKay because the internet, the Twitter girls are letting him have it. Why y'all doing that to him? Okay, I like McKay's character. I liked his character, especially in the first season, because despite what everyone was saying about this girl that he liked, he was still trying to be with Cassie. Where did McKay's character go? Like, while it is true that McKay is in college and they're in high school, which I was kind of confused about the time. Like, I don't know. That part was a little confusing to me because I thought he was in school with them. Like, I feel like he was just in school with them. I don't know. But he's a college freshman. And I'm like, but then what are they? I'm confused thinking about it now.
You're confused. I'm fucking confused, bro.
Am I dumb? Like, it's just something like, bitch, it's very obvious. Like, are you watching the same show everyone else is watching? I promise I am. The light bulb isn't always on up here. Like, someone is home, but we sit in the dark. Anyway, I would like McKay back, but I'm not gonna lie. Every time he tweets about the show, people are on his ass on Twitter. Like, they're always like, babe, we need to find another job. Like, this is done. Let it go. And I'm like, no, y'all, like, let him. I'm like, maybe he knows something we don't. I know something you don't. I know something you won't never know. Like, maybe he knows something we don't. But I just wish his character was back. Like, throw McKay into the mix, make it interesting. But also, he is a college student. And I guess he really can't be hanging around high school kids like that. I don't feel like his character should have graduated. But then I also know that, like, some of his plot lines wouldn't have worked out, especially in relation to Cassie. But I don't know. Let's get into my closing thoughts. Again, I'm going to keep mentioning this. In terms of, like, what could be considered as the perfect finale, it fit that to a T. You have a character that's very happy, you have a character that's very sad that made everyone else sad, and then you have a bunch of open endings. What I think will be interesting to see is what they're gonna do in 2 years when the show comes back. How are they gonna keep us still in? I mean, at this point, anyone who watches Euphoria, like, I feel like we're all pretty hooked in. Like, we're in this, we're riding, the wheels fall off, we're here to the bitter end, baby. Like, and I'm not saying that I gave them any star-studded advice they have to follow. Like, y'all don't have to listen to anything I said in this video. I'm assuming y'all all are watching. I'm assuming that, like, the main cast is just all sitting down watching my video, which, hi everyone. I don't know, man. The finale could have been a lot better in a lot of different ways, and I think that a lot of things could have gone differently in this season to where people felt better about the finale. But what I'm gonna chalk it up to, you know what? They're the writers. They know what they're doing. And it's only a second season, so maybe we just gotta see what happens. I mean, look, I can't name a single show that has, you know, perfect seasons all the way across, like Chef's Kiss all the way through their run. So we're just gonna see what happens, you know? But I see you and I hear you if you were unhappy about the finale. But also if you liked it, I also see you and I hear you. And I'm kind of right here with, actually, kind of feel like I'm in the middle. And I feel like depending on the day, and depending on who's talking on either side, I can be pulled in either way. But for the most part, I like the finale. I'm very sad that Ashtray got killed. Y'all have no idea how... Why did it have to be him? Euphoria was cool. It's a cool show. I'm very invested in it. I like it very much. Thank you to all those who convinced me to watch it, because now I got me hooked. But now what I'm supposed to do for the next 2 years while they're all on hiatus, do whatever they want to do. I don't know. I'm in the middle. I'm Malcolm in the middle with how I feel, and that's okay. But I would still love to hear you guys' comments, or I love to see you guys' comments in the comment section, so we can all just talk about it. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm back or whatever. No, yeah, I'm still gonna be here with the videos, you know. Still talk to me in the comments, let me know what videos you want to see or whatever. Please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscription button and hit that bell notification before you head out the door. I love you all very much. Please take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. Do something that makes you feel not only good, but better. Let me say it again. Do something that doesn't only make you feel good, but makes you feel better. I love you all very much. Talk nice to yourself before you talk nice to anybody else. I need to start taking my own advice on that one too. Let me say it again. Talk nice to yourself before you talk nice to anybody else. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.